Saint Demetrius of Thessaloniki is a Christian martyr of the early 4th century AD. During the Middle Ages, he came to be revered as one of the most important Orthodox military saints, are often paired with Saint George. His feast day is the 26th of October for Eastern Orthodox Christians following the Gregorian calendar, and the 8th of November for those following the Julian calendar. In the Roman Catholic Church he is most commonly called Demetrius of Sermium, and his memorial falls on the 8th of October. Name. The spelling Demetrius is a Romanization of the ancient Greek pronunciation. The Byzantine and modern Greek pronunciation is Romanized as Demetrios or Demetrios. See Demetrios for more on the etymology of the name. In Russian, he is called and was a patron saint of the Rurik dynasty from the late 11th century on. Mstislav I of Kiev founded the first East Slavic monastery dedicated to this saint. The name Dmitri is in common use. The Bulgarian Orthodox Church reveres Saint Demetrius on the 26th of October as the Romanian Orthodox Church reveres St. Demetrius on the 26th of October as S.F. Dumitru. The Serbian Orthodox Church reveres Saint Demetrius as having a feast of Mitrovdan on the 8th of November. The Macedonian Orthodox Church reveres Saint Demetrius on the 8th of November as he is known among Albanian speakers in Kosovo as Shmitri, and in Albania as Shenmitri. He is known in Lebanon as Mar Dimitri, or Mitri for short, which is a common name among Christian Lebanese. He is known in the Coptic Church as Saint Demetrius of Thessalonica. He is venerated in the Coptic Church on the 8th of November. Life. The earliest written accounts of his life were compiled in the 9th century, although there are earlier images of him, and the 7th century Miracles of St. Demetrius collection. According to these early accounts, Demetrius was born to pious Christian parents in Thessaloniki, Illyricum in 270. The biographies have Demetrius as a young man of senatorial family who was run through with spears in around 306 AD in Thessaloniki, during the Christian persecutions of Diocletian and Galerian, which matches his depiction in the 7th century mosaics. Veneration of sainthood. The theory most scholars endorse is the hypothesis put forward by Bollandist Hippolyte Delhay, that his veneration was transferred from Sirmium when Thessaloniki replaced it as the main military base in the area in 441–442 AD. His very large church in Thessaloniki, the highest Demetrius, dates from the mid-5th century. Thessaloniki remained a center of his veneration, and he is the patron saint of the city. After the growth of his veneration as saint, the city of Thessaloniki suffered repeated attacks and sieges from the Slavic peoples who moved into the Balkans, and Demetrius was credited with many miraculous interventions to defend the city. Hence later traditions about Demetrius regard him as a soldier in the Roman army, and he came to be regarded as an important military martyr. Unsurprisingly, he was extremely popular in the Middle Ages, and along with St. George was the patron of the Crusades. Some scholars believe that for 4 centuries after his death, St. Demetrius had no physical relics, and in the place an unusual empty shrine called the Ciborium was built inside highest Demetrios. What have still purported to be his remains subsequently appeared in Thessaloniki, but the local Archbishop John, who compiled the first book of the Miracles California, 610, was publicly dismissive of their authenticity. These are now also kept in highest Demetrios. According to believers, these relics were ascertained to be genuine after they started emitting a liquid and strong scented myrrh. This gave the saint the epithet Myrovalides. In the Russian Orthodox Church, the Saturday before the feast of Saint Demetrius is a memorial day commemorating the soldiers who fell in the Battle of Kulikovo under the leadership of Saint Demetrius of the Don. This day is known as Demetrius Saturday. Iconography. Saint Demetrius was initially depicted in icons and mosaics as a young man in patterned robes with the distinctive tableon of the senatorial class across his chest. Miraculous military interventions were attributed to him during several attacks on Thessaloniki, and he gradually became thought of as a soldier. A Constantinopolitan ivory of the late 10th century shows him as an infantry soldier, but an icon of the late 11th century in St. Catherine's Monastery on Mount Sinai shows him as before, still a civilian. This may be due to iconic depiction customs on how saints are depicted. Another Sinai icon, of the Crusader period and painted by a French artist working in the Holy Land in the second half of the 12th century, shows what then became the most common depiction. Demetrius, bearded, rather older, and on a dark horse, rides together with Saint George, unbearded and on a white horse. Both are dressed as cavalrymen. Also, while St. George is often shown spearing a dragon, Street Demetrius is depicted spearing the gladiator Lyaeus, who according to story was responsible for killing many Christians. Lyaeus is commonly depicted below Demetrius and lying supine. Having already been defeated, Lyaeus is traditionally drawn much smaller than Demetrius. In traditional hagiography, Demetrius did not directly kill Lyaeus, but rather through his prayers the gladiator was defeated by Demetrius's disciple, Nestor. A modern Greek iconographic convention depicts Demetrius with a great white tower in the background. The anachronistic white tower acts as a symbolic depiction of the city of Thessaloniki, despite having been built in the 16th century, centuries after his life, and the exact architecture of the older tower that stood at the same site in earlier times is unknown. Again, iconography often depicts saints holding a church or protecting a city. According to hagiographic legend, as retold by Dmitri of Rostov in particular, Demetrius appeared in 1207 in the camp of Kaloyan of Bulgaria, piercing the pagan king with a lance and killing him. This scene, known as, became a popular element in the iconography of St. Demetrius. He is shown on horseback piercing the king with his spear, paralleling the iconography of St. George and the dragon. Music. In 1962, the life and martyrdom of Demetrius became the subject of a 90-minute oratorio by Greek diaspora composer Nicholas Astrononidis. 3 parts of the work were premiered at the first Demetria Festival in Thessaloniki on the 26th of October 1962. The entire oratorio was premiered in 1966, and received subsequent performances in 1985 and in 1993. All performances have been recorded.